Yo, what is up guys? I'm Noah from Snag&BagFishing, and today I have a rod and reel arsenal video. Let's hop right into it. So I thought I would do a rod and reel arsenal video today just to show what you guys will be seeing on this channel, what type of gear I will be throwing on each of these rods. Basically my whole setup for every fishing trip. So this video might be a little shorter, but I'm gonna hop right into it. So this is the first rod that I'm going to showcase in this rod and reel arsenal video. This is a Abu Garcia Veritas. It is a 6'6" rod. It is a medium rod with a fast action tip. This is my rod that I use for Ned rigging, for drop shotting, and shaky heading. So I have 20-pound braid on here with a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. And this rod is usually my multi-species rod when I go for smaller fish. I use this a lot for finesse fishing. If it ever comes to it too, I will take off the leader, and I can also use this for top water, or if I need to, I'll keep the leader on, and I might even throw a spinnerbait on this in the fall. But this is overall a really good spinning rod that I can use for pretty much everything. It is a very versatile rod. I mean, it's an average rod, but it does the job. The next rod I have here today is a St. Croix Mojo bass rod. This is a medium heavy fast action tip rod. It is 7 foot 1 inch. It is made for jigging, so that's pretty much what I do on it. I believe this is 25 to 30 pound braid on here, and when I'm using this rod, this is my main jigging rod. So I'll throw anything from swim jigs to football head jigs to flipping jigs, and I'm usually gonna only throw jigs on this. Sometimes I'll even throw topwater just because braid floats, and this is a somewhat more heavier rod, so I can use this for topwatering as well, frogging and poppers and stuff like that. This next rod is a favorite MLB series rod. This is the Chicago Cubs rod. It came with a white favorite sleeve. And this is a pretty dope looking rod. It has the Cubs logo and stuff like that everywhere. It's a pretty nice rod. This is my crankbaiting rod. I am pretty sure this is a 7 foot rod, and I believe I have 14-pound fluorocarbon on this because I only throw treble hook lures on this. Right now I have a Mike Bucca Baby Bullshad on there, but usually I'll throw anything from deep dives to square bills to sometimes I'll even throw jerk baits on this rod, even though it's a little bit lighter line, because I like to use a little heavier line for jerk baits just because I want it to sink a little faster, and I want the action to be a little more sporadic when I'm using heavier line just because it sinks a little faster. This is my final rod that I'm going to be using this year. This is a Shimano Intenza. I actually just got this. I have not used this yet, but what I plan to use this for is for Texas rigging, which I already have set up on there. This is a 7 foot 2 rod. This is also medium heavy and a fast action tip. I use this for Texas rigging like I already said, but I sometimes will also use this, I plan on using this for those heavier treble hook lures as well. So next thing we're gonna go over is the reels now on each rod. On this rod specifically, I have a Daiwa Fuego. It is a 7-to-1 gear ratio, mainly because I like to throw something I like to use a reel that will retrieve a little bit faster when I'm flipping and pitching. So if I'm throwing a Texas rig or a jig, like I said, which is what I'm gonna use this rod for, I will definitely be able to throw this a lot faster. Onto my crankbaiting rod, I have a Cast King. I think this is a Creux. I honestly have no idea how to say the name of this. It is a 6-to-1 gear ratio reel. I have it a little slower just because I like to crank a little faster. If I'm using something like this where I'm just retrieving super fast, then I'll usually just be able to constantly reel. But with this one, I have to reel a little bit faster, so it's just a little more fun to throw a slower reel. This reel is really good for what I do because it has a magnetic brake system, which I can constantly be changing if I want to adjust how fast I'm throwing something on this with this reel, which I find to be really useful. And it was relatively a cheap reel, and so far it's been pretty good for the price. Back over to my jigging rod. I have one of my favorite reels of my collection. This is the Shimano SLX. Now, if you don't know what this is, you are probably living under a rock, because this reel is probably like the mid-tier of the Shimano Corrado, but this is just so nice. Like, I can use this for anything. Like I already said, I use this rod for a jigging. Sometimes I'll throw a Texas rig because I have braid on here, and topwater. And this can handle anything. This reel is amazing. It's super smooth, and unlike these two rods right here, this reel, or unlike those two reels, this reel has a piston mechanism, I believe, that allows you to open this and pop this out, and there's little like pins here that you push down to adjust your braking system. And I mean, it's super easy to open. It's super nice because I can mess with this on the water, and it's pretty fast as well. I believe this is a 7-to-2 gear ratio reel, and it's super nice. My last reel is on the spinning rod. It is one of my only spinning reels that I have. I do have another one, but it is not for bass fishing, it is for catfishing. And this is another Daiwa Fuego. This is from the Daiwa Fuego series. Like the casting reel, I personally love the Daiwa Fuego line. And I mean, all the reels are super smooth. They're pretty, I wouldn't say inexpensive, they're $100 each. You can get the Daiwa Fuego casting reel for cheaper usually. I mean, I always find that one on sale. This spinning reel is really comfortable. It's at an angle almost, going this way, which I personally love. I believe this is a 5-to-1 gear ratio spinning reel, which is a little bit on the slower side, especially if you're a guy who likes to throw casting rods a lot. But it is very versatile. It is super smooth on cast. It is super smooth on retrieve. And I mean, it has the drag system, super easy to screw around with. It has this little like clip to put your line on. I mean, most casting reels don't have that, but spinning, and it has this little switch that lets you go back and forth instead of just one direction, unlike casting reels. And overall, this is a really good spinning reel. It's really worth the price, and I love it because it's super versatile, and I can literally throw anything on this combo right here. So in the end, I'm just gonna go over the rods really quickly and show you what I've combined with them and what I'll use them for, just as a summary. This is the Abu Garcia Bridas paired up with a Daiwa Fuego. I use this for finesse fishing mainly. This is a St. Croix Mojo Bass paired up with a Shimano SLX. This is a more heavy-duty braid that I can use for flipping, punching, throwing jigs mainly, and sometimes topwater or Texas rigging. This is a Favorite Rods MLB series, the Chicago Cubs one, with a Cast King Creux reel. This is used for crankbaiting usually, or swim baiting, anything with treble hooks as well as jerk baits. Last but not least, this is my newest addition. Like I said, this is the Shimano Intenza with a Daiwa Fuego reel. I'm going to be using this for mainly Texas rigging, and sometimes possibly even heavier, like those heavier lures like swim baits or jigs, but mainly Texas rigging, as this will be really well with, this will pair really well with the fluorocarbon I have on here, 14 pound. So this was my rod and reel arsenal video. This is what I'm gonna be using and you're gonna be seeing on this channel a lot. And overall, I probably will get a couple more rods this year, but I will also do separate reviews for all the rods and all the reels as well. This is just a summary of what I'm gonna be using. Like I said, multiple times, obviously. This is the end of the rod and reel arsenal video. I do have more rods, but you won't be seeing them as much on this channel, and when I do use them, I will show them. This video may come out a little late because I was awaiting some more gear that I can have to set up for other videos, and you have some pretty good videos coming up next. I have a monster bass slam that I'm planning on doing. I have not recorded it yet, so if there is any changes, I will post that. And I am still planning on doing that at a private pond that I know I will catch fish at. So you will most likely be seeing that video in the upcoming future, and if not, I will be posting slams in the future 100%. You also have a video that is coming out that I don't want to hype it yet because I haven't started recording it, but I am planning to do a video that I think will be fire. So this has been Noah from Snag&BagFishing, and I will see you guys all next time. See ya.